guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make the ocean waves ruffle skirt. That's what I chose to call it. This is because of the wavy stitch that we just learned in our previous video. So if you just want to learn the stitch that's in that skirt, please check out the previous video. But today we're going to learn how to make an actual piece out of the stitch, and that's going to be the skirt version of the design or of the collection. So you can choose to work this skirt either with ruffles or without the ruffles, as you can see in these images alongside themselves. Choose one of the designs that you want, but today I'll be showing how to work both the styles. And then we already have a written pattern. It's already available on all my online shops. You can check the link in the description box below. And then yeah, let's jump into the materials. For the materials, you'll need a pair of scissors, a measuring tape to take your measurements, and then 4mm crochet hook and a darning needle. The measurement that we'll be considering for this skirt is the hip measurement, and I'll be showing you how to use the measuring tape in order to determine the measurement that will be suitable for your size, depending on what hip measurement that you have gotten for yourself. So the yarn that I'll be using is Winter King. It's a 4-ply acrylic yarn. So in this video, the skirt is paired with the Mandala crochet halter top, which also already has a tutorial as well as the written pattern. Everything will be linked in the description box below. So if you want to make a matching set like this, both tutorials are available as well as both written patterns on all my online shops. So don't forget to check them out. So let's get started on the tutorial. So you're going to grab your yarn and your hook, and you're going to make your starting chain, which is the foundation chain of your project. For my demonstration, I did a total of 68 chains. You're going to make a chain that is long enough to get the height of the skirt that you want, all the way from your waistline down to where you want your skirt to end, minus 2 inches for the waistband. Starting chain should be a multiple of 16 plus 4. So the starting chain that I'll be considering is 68, which is 64, the multiple of 16, plus 4 chains, which is a total of 68 chains. So you're going to start off with a slip knot. This is how I make my slip knot. After making your slip knot, you're going to make your starting chain. For me, that is going to be a total of 68 chains. So I have a total of 68 chains. This is how long I want my skirt to be, because we are working lengthwise. So this is going to be the length of the skirt, and then I'm going to wrap around the body. Alright, so we're starting row 1. You're going to go into the second chain from the hook, not this one, but this one. That's the second chain from the hook. You're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's a single crochet. You're going to continue to single crochet in each and every chain across. Place 1 single crochet in each and every chain across. All right, so we are coming to the end of the row and we have only one chain left, as you can see here. You're going to go into it with one single crochet, and that marks the end of row 1. It's just a row of single crochets, and remember this pattern is worked in US terms. So we're going on to the second row. So for row 2, you're going to make a chain of 1, turn your work, you're going to place one single crochet in each of the first 3 stitches. So this one, and this one. So into the very first stitch, you're going to go in there with one single crochet into the next, and one single crochet into the next. So that's a total of 3 single crochets. So after this, you're going to make a chain of 1, skip 1 stitch, skip the next stitch, which is this one. You're going to place a double crochet, yarn over. So we are skipping this stitch and going into the next stitch and placing a double crochet, just like that. And then chain 1, yarn over twice. This is a treble crochet. So yarn over twice, skip 1 stitch and go into the next stitch with the treble crochet, just like that. And then you're going to make a chain of 1, yarn over 3 times, 1, 2, and 3, and then you're going to skip over 1 stitch and then go into the next stitch with a double treble crochet. So insert your hook, pull up a loop. You'll have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So that's the double treble. Chain 1, yarn over 3 times. That's still preparing for a double treble crochet. Skip over 1 stitch and go into the next stitch. Insert your hook, pull up a loop. You have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through the last 2. So we have a double, a treble, a double treble, and another double treble. So after this, you're going to make a chain of 1, yarn over twice to prepare for a treble crochet, skip over 1 stitch and go into the next and place your treble crochet there. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Chain 1, yarn over once to prepare for a double crochet, skip the next stitch and go into the next and place your double crochet that you had prepared for, just like this. And then you're going to make a chain of 1, skip over the next stitch, and then place 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. So you can see what that has created. It has created some sort of bubble-like shape, and this is what's going to create those curves or that wavy stitch that we want for our skirt. So from here you're going to make a chain of 1 and we're going to create this again. So let's see how to do that. Chain 1, prepare for a double crochet, skip over 1 stitch and place your double crochet into the next stitch, and then chain 1, yarn over twice to prepare for a treble crochet, skip over 1 stitch and place your treble crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, yarn over 3 times to prepare for a double treble crochet, skip over 1 stitch and place your double treble into the next stitch. And by now you should be knowing how to do the stitches. So remember that double trebles have to be 2. So this is 1, and then you're going to make a chain of 1, yarn over 3 times, skip over the next stitch and double treble crochet into the next stitch. Alright, after making the 2 double treble crochet stitches, now you're going to make a chain of 1, prepare for a treble crochet. So you yarn over twice and then skip the next stitch and place your treble crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, prepare for a double crochet by yarning over once, skip the next stitch and place a double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip the next stitch and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, 1, 2 and 3. So that has created our second bubble, as you can see here. So we are basically going to repeat that process again and again all the way across. And since I had a multiple of 16, my multiple was 4. So 4 times 16 is 64 plus 4 chains. I will have a total of 4 bubbles. So I'm going to keep working this. After the 3, you create another bubble. After 3 single crochets, you create another bubble, like that. And then I'll meet you back to show you what I'll have at the end of the row. Alright guys, after creating your last bubble, when you get to the double crochet stitch, you should be left with a total of 4 stitches. You can see we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. So after your double crochet here, you're going to make a chain of 1, skip over 1 stitch, and then in each of the last 3 stitches you're going to place 1 single crochet into each stitch. So we've ended our row with 3 single crochets, and this is what your work will look like. Now we are going on to row 3, but before we do that, there's something I need you to note. In between the groups of 3 single crochets, you should always have a total of 6 stitches. So if you're to cross check, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we have double double on the edges, then treble treble, then the 2 double trebles in the middle. So you should be having a total of 6 stitches in the middle of the groups of 3 single crochets, sorry. These are the single crochet stitches. So in between there, you should be having a total of 6 stitches in the middle. So that should continue all the way through. So let's go on to row 3, and row 3 is going to basically be a row of single crochets. So you're going to make a chain of 1, turn your work, and for this row we are only going to place 1 single crochet in each and every stitch and 1 single crochet in each and every chain 1 space. So we're starting off with this very first stitch. After your chain of 1, you're going to place 1 single crochet in each of the 3 single crochets, just like that. And then into the chain 1 space, you're going to place 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, 1 single crochet into the next chain 1 space. So that's what we are going to do for this row. Just go ahead and keep placing 1 single crochet in each chain 1 space and 1 single crochet in each stitch of the previous row. Alright, so we're coming to the end of our row and we are left with only 3 stitches, so we shall go into each of them with 1 single crochet. So this is the row that doesn't have a lot of thought to it, because you're just placing single crochets in each space and in each stitch. So we're going on to row 4 because we are done with 3 rows at this point. So for row 4, we are basically starting with a chain of 5, turn your work, and this counts as a double treble crochet, chain 1. So we're starting off with a chain of 5, and then we are preparing for a double treble, yarning over 3 times, skip over the next stitch and go into the next with the double treble crochet that you had prepared for, like that. So after this, you're going to make a chain of 1, yarn over twice to prepare for a treble crochet, skip over the next stitch and place your treble crochet there into the next stitch, like that. And then you're going to make a chain of 1, skip over the next stitch and double crochet into the next stitch, and this is what you'll have. So after your double crochet, you're going to chain 1, skip over the next stitch and place 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, just like that. So we are keeping the waves flowing. After this, we are going to go back to this system where we were creating these bubbles. You remember that? So you can see we are at the point of 3 single crochets. So let's create our next bubble. You're going to make a chain of 1, yarn over once to prepare for a double crochet, skip the next stitch and place your double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, yarn over twice to prepare for a treble crochet, skip 1 stitch and place your treble crochet, chain 1, yarn over 3 times to prepare for a double treble crochet, skip 1 stitch and place your double treble crochet, chain 1, yarn over 3 times to prepare for a double treble, skip 1 stitch and place your double treble crochet. Yarn over 3 times, skip 1 stitch and double treble into the next stitch. So remember, it's already 6 stitches. So far we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we are yarning over twice to prepare for a treble crochet, skip 1 stitch and place 1 treble into the next stitch. After chaining 1, of course. Alright, don't forget to chain 1 in between these stitches. So after your treble, you're going to chain 1, skip 1 stitch and double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch and place 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So that has created our very first full bubble. This one will create half a bubble on the edge, and you will see how to wind up at the end of the row. But for now, this is exactly what we have. So since we had 3 stitches here, it's a narrow one here. That means it becomes wide for the next wave, and then that means on the next wave it will be the narrow part, so that we create that kind of interlocking effect. So after this, after the 3 single crochets, you're going to just continue to create the bubbles, and I think by now you know exactly what to do. Double, chain 1, treble, chain 1, double treble, after skipping a stitch, of course. This is how the pattern flows. Chain 1, double treble after skipping a stitch, chain 1, treble after skipping a stitch, chain 1, double after skipping a stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, and 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So we've created our next bubble. Then we are continuing to do this. Let's create our next one. Alright, now I'm placing my 3 single crochets, and at this point towards the end of your row you should be left with a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 stitches. When you have your 8 stitches left, you're going to make a chain of 1, prepare for a double crochet, skip 1 stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, prepare for a double treble, skip 1 stitch, and double treble crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, prepare for a double treble by yarning over 3 times, skip the next stitch, and place your double treble into the next stitch. Now we are left with only 2 stitches. You're going to make a chain of 1, yarn over 3 times, and double treble crochet into the last stitch after skipping over 1 stitch. You're going to go in there with 1 double treble crochet into the very last stitch, and this balances exactly what we have at the beginning of the row, as you can see here. We have this, and at the beginning of the row we have this. So let's go ahead and go on to row 5. Row 5, you're going to make a chain of 1, turn your work, and it's going to be the single crochet row. So you're going to go into each and every stitch with 1 single crochet, and each and every chain 1 space with 1 single crochet, and just make it all the way across your row. 1 single crochet in each stitch and 1 single crochet in each chain 1 space. Alright, so we're coming to the end of the row, and I am placing single crochets all over. So when you come to the end, you're going to place 1 single crochet in this very last space, and then you're going to go into the 4th chain, counting from the base of the chain 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th you're going to place 1 single crochet there. So this marks the end of row 5. Row 5 is the single crochet row. So we're going on to row 6, and row 6 is basically going to be row 2. So I'll be attaching timestamps in the description box so that you can follow along easily. We are repeating rows 2 through 5 again and again until this panel grows to what we want it to be. Alright guys, so we ended up doing a total of 72 rows, and you should end on a row that starts with a chain 5, as you can see here, the one that starts with a half bubble. Now you should also end on a mesh row. This is because we are going to join that mesh row onto the single crochet row that we did at the beginning of the project. So you should also make sure that the length across from one end to the other when you place your work like this is your hip measurement when stretched. As you can see, when it's not stretched, it's 32 inches, and when stretched can go to 40 inches when slightly stretched. So that's what I considered for my skirt. So once you finish this row that starts and ends with a half bubble, you're going to make a chain of 1. I've already made my chain of 1, and then you're going to leave a very long tail. This tail is going to help us join the skirt into a round. So just make a chain of 1 and then leave a long strand and pull through to secure your yarn. Okay, just like this. Now you're going to fold over your skirt into half like this. Actually, just make the 2 ends meet, because this is going to become our seam line. As you can see here, this is going to become our seam line at the back of the skirt. So you're going to get your darning needle. Mine is here. And then you're going to thread it with the tail that we left behind. Just like this. Now we're going to join each stitch to 1 stitch on the other side. So what we are trying to do here is to create a tube-like structure where the body is going to be placed so that we can form a skirt. So we go into the first stitch this side, and then the first stitch on this side, and we are going to just use our darning needle to join stitch to stitch. Now we are considering our chain stitches as stitches as well, so don't miss the chain stitch on this side. We are joining each chain 1 space and each stitch to a stitch of the very beginning foundation row. I hope I'm making sense. Just place a stitch into each and every stitch with your darning needle. All the way across, and this is going to create something like this where your body will be placed. So as you can see, the seam line is blending into the pattern, and at some point we are not going to be seeing where we even made our joining, because this is blending in so well into the pattern. Alright, so we are coming to the end, and you should be having almost the same exact number of stitches left if you've joined accurately you should be having the same exact number of stitches left. As you can see, we have 1 stitch left, and I'll place it here. And this is our seam line, guys. Look at that, almost invisible. And then from here you can remove your darning needle, and then we have a tail here, so I'm going to just go ahead and knot it. Just make a double knot or a triple knot just to secure your yarn. And this is what you're going to have for your skirt. I know where the tail is, so this will be the back side of the skirt, but when we turn it to the front side, we shall have something that looks like this. Now the next thing that you're going to do is to go ahead and work on the waistband of our skirt. So in order to work on the waistband, we're going to continue with this tail here, the longer one, and you're going to place, just attach your yarn and then make a chain of 1, and then you're going to place 2 single crochets, actually 3 single crochets in these long spaces, and then 1 single crochet in each of these rows, the single crochet rows. So let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, and 3 into the big space, and then into the single crochet row, 1 single crochet, and then 1 single crochet in the next single crochet row, just like that. And you're going to repeat this all the way around. 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 single crochet in the single crochet row, 1 single crochet into the next single crochet row. So you're going to go all the way around until you make it back to the beginning of the round. Alright, so we've come back to the beginning of the round, and I'm placing single crochets into the single crochet rows, just like that. And you should notice that your work has kind of gathered up around the waistline, because this is going to be the waist area of the skirt. Now when you're done with this, you're going to go into the very first single crochet that you made with 1 slip stitch at the back of the skirt, because this is where the seam line is located. Alright, so this is what we have. Now we're going to continue to make a waistband for our skirt. So to do that, you're going to make a chain as thick as what you want for your waistband. Alright, so I'm going to make a chain of 10. I'm going to make a chain of 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So after your 10 chains, you're going to go into the second chain from the hook and make a single crochet into the next, single crochet into the next chain, and continue to single crochet all the way down until the very last chain. Alright, so when you make it to the last chain, you're going to go into the next single crochet stitch with 1 slip stitch and then 1 slip stitch into the next. Turn your work, skip over the next slip stitch and then go into the single crochet stitches, but only in the back loop, and you're going to place 1 single crochet, back loop only, in each of the 9 single crochets of the waistband. Alright, so we are making our last single crochet back loop only. Chain 1, turn your work. So we are going to work all the way around the waistband of the skirt. So after a chain of 1, you turn your work and then place 1 single crochet back loop only into each and every single crochet of the 9 single crochets of the waistband, or whatever number that you consider to make for the waistband. You can either have a shorter waistband or a longer one, depending on your preference. So after placing your 9 single crochets back loop only, and then you're going to go into the next stitch with 1 slip stitch and then 1 slip stitch into the next stitch. Then turn your work, skip the next slip stitch, you just jump into the single crochets of the waistband and then place single crochet back loop only into each and every stitch. So we're going to repeat this all the way around, and I'll be showing you what this will look like when I go all the way around the skirt. For now, this is exactly what we have. We're creating a ribbed effect for the waistband of the skirt. Then you're going to move all the way around, and then I'll meet you back at this point. Alright guys, so we've made it all the way around, and this is what the waistband will look like. It has sat well onto the top of the skirt, and we are making it all the way around the waistband. So we are still working chain 1, 1 single crochet back loop only into each and every stitch. After your last stitch, you're going to go into the very last single crochet stitch, just like that, and then go into this space here, into the next space with a slip stitch, and then turn your work and single crochet back loop only into each of the stitches of the waistband, just like we've been doing. So what we are trying to do here is to close up that gap at the back of the skirt completely, and when that is done, once you get done with that, you're going to have something that looks like this. You have a split at the back of the skirt. So what we are going to do is make a chain of 1, cut your yarn leaving a strand behind, and then you're going to pull through. So this strand that we've left behind, you're going to thread it into your darning needle like this, and we're going to join stitch to stitch to this side so that we can close up the waistband, the ribbing of the waistband, because this is the ribbed effect of the waistband of the skirt. So just go stitch to stitch and just join the sides together so that we don't have that opening at the back of the skirt. So the ribbing effect of the waistband is going to make the skirt a little stretchy around the waistband. So make sure you go into all the stitches, and when you're done with this, you're going to just push your darning needle to the back side of the skirt. You're going to determine what side you want to be the right side of the skirt, but I think this is perfectly fine. So you're going to turn your work onto the wrong side, and you're going to get rid of all these strands. Either by using a darning needle or by knotting the strands that are left behind. So make sure whatever approach you use, you secure your loose ends perfectly well so that they don't undo themselves. And this is what we have for now. You can see the waistband. Guys, look at that. Alright, so this is what the back of the skirt will look like. You can see the waistband is gathered, but it is stretchy. So if you feel like this is still a bit big for your waist, then you may consider putting an elastic band in the skirt. I've already done that in my mini ruffle skirt, and I'll be leaving a link in the description box below. You can follow that tutorial if you would like to attach an elastic strand into the waistband, if you feel like you need this a little bit more snatched. So I'll be leaving that video in the description box below so that you can follow the same exact instructions. But yeah, this is how the waistband looks like. When we come to the front of the skirt, this is what we have. Now we are going to go onto the bottom of the skirt, and we are going to create ruffles. We are going to pick the same exact idea that we had for the mini ruffle skirt, and we are going to bring back those ruffles onto this skirt and see how everything will work out. But for now, this is exactly what we have. Alright guys, so for the ruffles, now that we are done with the waistband, this is going to be the upper side of the skirt, and then you're going to turn your work so that we are working at the base of the skirt, and you're going to create ruffles. But for the start, you're going to attach your yarn in any long stitch. So I'll attach mine in this one, and you're going to first make a single crochet round just like we made for the waistband. Just attach your yarn there, chain 1, and then into that space you're going to place 3 single crochets. Make sure your stitches are not too tight. 3 single crochets, and then 1 single crochet in the single crochet row, and 1 single crochet into the next single crochet row, and then you're going to repeat that all the way around. We've already done this for the waistband, so we are just bringing it back to the base of the skirt so that it creates a foundation for our ruffles before we get started on them. Okay, so go all the way around until you come back to the beginning, and I'll show you what to do next after that. Alright, so we've made it all the way around, and I'm placing my last 2 single crochets in the single crochet rows, just like that, and then you're going to slip stitch into the very first single crochet of the round. So this is going to be the foundation round of the ruffles, and this is what it's going to look like. Now from here we're going to start creating our ruffles. You're going to make a chain of 3, and into the same exact stitch where the chain 3 is coming from, you're going to place 1 more double crochet, and then 1 double crochet into the next. So this counts as 2 double crochets into the first stitch, and then 1 double crochet into the next, 2 double crochets into the next, and 1 double crochet into the next, 2 double crochets into the next, and 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So we're going to repeat that all the way around. 2 double crochets into one stitch, and then 1 double crochet into the next stitch all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the end of the round here. Alright, so we've made it all the way around, and the ruffle hasn't yet started showing, but with time it will be very, very dominant. So we've ended with 2 double crochets into this stitch, and then into the last stitch I'm going to place 1 double crochet, just like that, and then I'm going to go on top of the first chain 3 of the round and place a slip stitch to wind up round 1 of the ruffles. So round 1 of the ruffles is the single crochet round, the foundation round of the ruffles. So this takes us to round 2 of the ruffles. Then you're going to make a chain of 3. This will be round 2, and this is going to be the round that we are going to repeat again and again until we have the thickness of the ruffles that we want. So you chain 3 and go into the same exact stitch, so into that chain where the chain 3 is coming from, and you're going to place 1 double crochet there, and then 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 2 double crochets into the next, 1 into the next. So repeat that all the way around. 2 double crochets into the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next. So keep working this all the way around, and when you come to the end of the round, you slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 of the round, the very first chain 3 of the round. Slip stitch here, chain 3, and repeat round 3 of the ruffles. Repeat this very round again and again, and you'll see your ruffles forming. So let me go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back when my ruffles have started forming at around round 4 or 5, somewhere there. Alright guys, so I ended up doing a total of 5 rounds for the ruffle, including the very first round, which was the round of single crochets. So we have the single crochet round, and then 4 rounds of double crochet stitches, and this is the ruffle that we've come up with. It's not so dramatic, but it is very dominant and visible. So once you get done with the number of rounds that you need for your ruffle, you're going to slip stitch into the top of the very first chain 3 of the round, and then you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. Pull through and get your darning needle, and then weave in this tail at the back of the skirt. Alright, so after weaving in this tail, you're going to go ahead and weave in all the tails that you have on your skirt, in case you have any left, but this is basically it. Let's see the final look of our skirt. Alright guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope you liked this tutorial. Don't forget to check out the written pattern, and thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for other designs in this same exact stitch. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.